Attention business owners and managers. Are you determined to make 2019 your best year yet? Are you tired of not showing up online where people are searching? Are you overwhelmed by digital marketing? If you answered yes to these, stop. Write this down, and after the podcast, get help. Go to successfulmarketinggroup.com/Cheryl Reeve. Glory Ramsey and Successful Marketing Group will help you get found, get customers, and build your dreams. Her results are proof. After the podcast, go to successfulmarketinggroup.com/Cheryl Reeve and sign up for a free 45-minute phone call and action plan with Glory. Make 2019 a huge success.
Well, you've been a little busy, and we haven't talked for a while. This is a perfect time to catch up and talk about your draft and your draft and your draft, because there was a lot happening. This was not a let's find a backup point guard who might help us 5 years from now kind of draft. This is actually a big deal. This is the Cheryl Reeve Show, starring, of course, Cheryl Reeve. I'm Jim Suhan from the Star Tribune. Next live show, Monday night, April 29th. At the Poorhouse, downtown Minneapolis, 6 o'clock. We'll do about 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. We had a great turnout. I think we had 68 people show up for the first one. And the great thing about this venue is if you want to be right up front, you probably have to get there early. You know, if you want to be in the first 3 rows, you probably have to get there early. But if you show up late, there'll either be a spot at the bar or a spot upstairs. There are couches upstairs, nice place to sit. My wife sat upstairs yesterday. So while we're trying to get a lot of people out there, no matter how many people we get to show up, you're going to have a seat. Thanks to Poorhouse Minneapolis. And that's where you find them on the internet, by the way. The Poorhouse, P-O-U-R, house, MPLS.com. Check them out. They're on 5th Street, not far from Target Center and Mayo Clinic Square. Good food, lots to drink, and just a great atmosphere at our last show. So please come out and hang out with us and chat with us next time around. All right, and thanks to our other sponsors, Shelly being the sports queen and successfulmarketinggroup.com. First, just overall emotional reaction to your big draft.
Well, it was a big day for us. You know, it was a lot of days, weeks of evaluating and just trying to bring it all together. A lot of conversations around the league, and it was the night before the draft when it got really clear to us that one of the 2 players that we really wanted was likely going to be there. But you don't know until it happens, and so it was fun, it was active, it was important, all of those things. We felt like things sort of went our way, if you will. Time will tell on these players. I know that draft night is the night that you're most excited about the players, and now it's about transitioning, into the WNBA, and we'll see who's able to handle that, at a high level. What I do know is that Napheesa Collier, who we got at number 6, is a really good basketball player. I think she's going to have a long career in the WNBA. I thought it was a really important pick for us. We have a number of holes to fill when you talk about where the team is, and I thought that was an important one. The versatility of Fisa is something that was really appealing. Play her at the small forward, you can play her at the power forward, and I probably wouldn't have that information with regard to the ability to play small forward without my USA basketball experience with Fee. And so I got to see how she handled that, and I became a believer in her ability to be versatile because she's only 6'1". So it's not like she's like truly a big post and people go, yep, she's going to be a post player. But yet, from a small forward standpoint, her skills and her quickness are not the same as it would be, for some of the guard play that we have in our league. I just like the how hard she plays. She's relentless in terms of her activity on the court. She has to improve her shooting. I know she'll do that. That'll be the first thing we tackle. She's going to be long. She's going to deflect. All the things that we value, they value at UConn. And so I think she's going to be able to come in here and just drop her in, and she'll be ready to go.
When we say drop her in, should we expect to see her in the starting lineup on opening night?
Well, I think that's probably, we're probably a little bit of ways away from figuring that out. I think at this time, the mindset would be, what we did in free agency with Kareem Christmas and Damiris Dantas would be my preference because they've been in the league for so long. And it's not something I wouldn't do if he earned that job. But I think it would be best for our team if we did as well as we think we did in free agency that, Fee ends up supporting, those starting players.
You and I were just joking about it. Everybody in every draft expresses complete shock that the player they wanted happened to be there right when they were drafting. But is there an element of truth to that this time? I got the sense that this is somebody you did have your eye on.
We had, yeah. We thought that there were, like we said, 5 good players that any one that you would be happy if you had them. I think they're at the top of the 5. I personally think that Nafisa right now is the best basketball player that was in the draft right now out of college. She's not your sexy pick. She's not your Agumbawale who hit game-winning shots at the Final Four and has that ability to kind of do prolific things. But analytically, Collier's a really good basketball player, and like I said, just in multiple ways. End up being Defensive Player of the Year this year. Her scoring, her rebounding, her consistency. But she's just not somebody that she's up there with as far as UConn players, Breanna Stewart and Maya Moore in terms of points and rebounds that she was able to achieve. And so but it's not met with the same kind of star, that Stewie and Maya are. So we're happy. I think if she's just kind of steady, and if at any point in time, she kind of grows into, that prominent role, we'll be really happy.
And when you talk about analytics, is that where analytics come into play for you when somebody maybe isn't getting all the acclaim, but when you can break down exactly what their contributions are, it adds up to a lot?
Yeah, I think it's that coupled with, obviously, my experience with her. So being in the trenches with her, I think really helped make sense of the analytics. And so, I think, we certainly, with Paul Swanson here, our statistician, we're able to take pretty deep dives on players. We have, probably 3 models that we look at. And what we like is when a player scores well in all 3 models. They typically favor post players. So you have to keep that in mind. But I'd say overall, she's just a highly efficient player that does things that, win a possession, therefore win a game. So, she fit all of that. And she was really, really happy to have landed in Minnesota because I think she understands that, how much we could use her skill set, and she knows she's going to play.
Which of your, we don't have to go directly into her, I guess we might as well. Jessica Shepard. Once again, this is somebody I got the sense you really liked going into the draft. I think you had hinted at that a little bit.
Yeah, I just, when you turn on and watch a game, when you enjoy watching someone play, Jess was near the top for me. Sort of the underdog in that she's not going to blow you away with her athleticism. She's only 6'2". But just the way she plays the game, her understanding of it. And again, I did have a chance to spend a few days with her with USA basketball training. So I got to be up close. She was on my team, in the inter squad scrimmage that we had. And so I feel like she's another plug and play for us in that Notre Dame style of play with playing through Jess on the elbow, her ability to make decisions. They were very, very post dominant in terms of throwing the ball inside, scoring points in the paint. I think that we're going to ask Jess to be more of a shooter. When I would see her, I'd say, you're open. Why don't you shoot it? I think the sense was that their priority was to get a layup on the inside, and maybe she turned that down in favor of doing what Notre Dame wanted. I think she understands that to be a pick and pop player, some of the stuff that we ran for her in our inter-squad scrimmage put her in those spots. She responded really well to that. And then she can pass, and that's something we were really after. She's underrated as a rebounder, again, because when you look at her, now Jess lost about 30 or 40 pounds since I last saw her. So give her a ton of credit for that. That's meaningful, to make that commitment. It made her a little lighter on her feet, a little quicker to things. Her rebounding was exceptional, particularly on the offensive end, and we think we're going to need a lot of that this season.
And what's your philosophy about offensive rebounding? Because, there have been times where you see somebody like Greg Popovich say, forget the offensive rebound, just get back at all costs. You think that's a big weapon for you? We
do. Now, I've always said this. I don't want to lead the league in offensive rebounding because that means we missed a lot. So I don't want to lead it. I'm about percentages, the percentage of available rebounds. You got to put the ball in the hole. I think you can do both. I think you can be intelligently attacking the glass. If it's not something, if the opportunity isn't there, then get back and build your transition defense. We play against teams. I think Brian Agler coached teams never offensive rebound, but you aren't going to score in transition on them. Right. So there are some trade-offs there. I would like our post players. It will be an emphasis in training camp for us to offensive rebound. We may not get the level of efficiency that we've been accustomed to. So I want to make sure that that we're able to put the ball in the hole. If you miss the first one, then you get the second and make it. That's 50%. We'll be okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about Sierra Dillard next, and Kenesha Bell. Let's thank SuccessfulMarketingGroup.com. That is Lori Ramsey's business. She's been supporting the podcast for a long time now. Go to SuccessfulMarketingGroup.com/Cheryl Reeve. Sign up for a free 45-minute action plan. She can help you show up on page one for multiple search engines. You know how important that is, especially if you're a smaller business. You need to be seen, or what you do just won't matter. If you're a dentist, if you run a med spa, if you're a plastic surgeon, if you run a heating and cooling company, auto repair company, a business with multiple locations, get found and get promoted. Go to SuccessfulMarketingGroup.com/Cheryl Reeve and sign up for that action plan. She uses comprehensive marketing systems and strategies that provide the business with everything you need in one package from one company, serving one strategy in many ways. That's websites, videos, blogs, press releases, and more at much less than a big agency will charge you. So, SuccessfulMarketingGroup.com/Cheryl Reeve. Get your action plan and get found. So Sierra Dillard, I don't know much about her. I'll just let you go tell me about her.
Yeah, a young lady that starred at Buffalo in the MAC conference. The MAC is really is a conference. Obviously it's mid-major, but they've really made some noise in the NCAA tournament the last couple of years. Buffalo was a team, not this year but last year, that did really well, got to the Sweet 16. Central Michigan was in the Sweet 16. So, it's a good league. It's a quality league. Sierra Dillard is a player that can pass it, can shoot it. Another player that's transformed her body. She was, maybe after last season kind of recognized it's almost like a contract year, that you recognize the next step, to be able to play in the WNBA. So she took care of her body a little bit. Probably still has some more work to do once she gets here and realizes what she's going against athletically. But we just have a need at the guard spot. And, we felt like, collecting a couple guards would be good for us. The 3-point shot, really important. We were looking to add that. So that's a player that we feel like can do that. And we'll see when she gets here. It's difficult. Obviously the further you go into the draft in terms of rounds, the more difficult it will be. But we feel like, with Sierra Dillard and then, Kenesha Bell, that, Kenesha Bell has pro athleticism. Can she figure out, how to exist in the game and be efficient offensively? That's going to be the big question. Will she shoot it when she's open? But I think that the two of these sort of give us this depth, and one of them has a chance to make the team. So that's really interesting for them.
We talked about Kenesha. We've talked about her before too. She can really drive it. She plays really hard. She's athletic. How difficult is it for a player who's trying to make a team to improve their shooting in a short period of time?
It's difficult. I think what would favor Kenesha is the proximity of, the university that she's played at. We're a couple miles away, and so she has the chance to be here with our coaches. And so what we're looking for with that is the response to coaching and how quickly, can she change mechanically? And some of it isn't always mechanically. It's a mindset. Mm-hmm. Is your mindset simply to drive, or can you rewire yourself like we saw with Danielle Robinson? Oftentimes it's the mental piece that keeps you from being able to be the shooter that we all think that, that the Kenesha would be capable. I talked to her about that. I thought mechanically she's not far off. I think, to achieve consistency, everybody knows we have the shooting aid, called Noah that we believe in. I think once she gets here and embraces, sort of the routine and how we value, the attention to detail and the mechanics, she could improve. And, can she do it in a 4 or 5 week period? Absolutely. We've seen that.
You are a season ticket holder for Gophers women's basketball. I think you know the coach over there. So under those circumstances, did you scout Kenesha Bell, or had that already been done?
Oh, for 2 years. Sometimes you see a player so much that maybe it's unfair to them because it's the more you know about them. Mm-hmm. Maybe we see more than the average team in the WNBA that isn't in market the way that we are. So you try to be objective. And I think for her, it was very, very clear And obviously when Lindsay got there, great deal of communication back and forth, what Lindsay sees in her. And so that's helpful to me, especially as I sit there and watch. When I talked to Lindsay late in the season, I said I was unclear about where she would land in the draft because I didn't think she had a great